no.
Focus.
Yeah, focus.
And go on, introduce yourself, just in case people do not know who you are.
I'm Lawrence Tandem.
If you don't know who he is, shame on you.
Yeah, what else do I say? I'm a husband, father.
Bike rider.
Bike rider. I did some bike riding in the last decades.
16, 17 years of a
16 years
professional.
as a pro.
And now with Specialized.
Yeah, happy.
Yeah, relaxing, riding the gravel
Yeah,
events.
and like people ask me, don't you miss the World Tour? And I'm like, last year in Paris, I got out like this, you know. I wrote a column about it, about PTSS, you know, the post-traumatic stress syndrome the soldiers have. And because the echelon stages were like hell for me, and I didn't forget. So people ask me, don't you miss it? And here I'm riding my bike in the sun on gravel, and we climb to a nice thing, and then we have lunch with a beer.
Yeah.
No, I don't miss it. To be honest,
You've been there, done that.
I still love to. I try to see everything. I try to look at the results, to spot the young talents, to see what my friends are doing. And of course, I do my podcast also about road racing still, because I love it. But I also like to ride my bike here in Girona and enjoy the Menu del Dia and go for a power. This was really relaxing. I could sleep in a room, and the kids
take a bath.
Yeah, take a bath, and the kids were not there, so it was also not. Yeah, it was easy for me. These days were spot on. Slow.
So now let's talk gravel, because leaving the slick tyres behind. You are now an ambassador for Specialized, aren't you?
Yeah.
How did that happen? Because you've never rode Specialized before, have you?
No, that's true. So the story is, I've been on Giant for maybe at least 8 or maybe 10 years.
Rabobank used it
Rabobank
for a
was
bit,
Giant,
Belkin, and then
Sunweb and
CCC.
Yeah. So I had a plan, but with Giant was a little bit slow, and Specialized, they listened to the podcast, so they knew my plans. And they were just more snappy, you know, actually, and then and I loved the product already, you know. I was training with Nicky Terpstra for a long time, and when he was on his new bike, I was always a little bit jealous, you know, because it's got the swag factor for me, you know, like we call it the swag factor. But they are also more into the gravel scene. Like I felt more support that we want you to do Belgian Waffle. I said, oh wow, yeah, let's do it. But for Belgian Waffle you need a Roubaix and not a Diverge, because it's more like and I didn't know, you know, so I was.
So you're learning as you go along.
Yeah. And for example, now they also have Ellie they also have Ellie as an ambassador, Alison Tetrick.
Yeah. Is she teaching you stuff?
She teaches me stuff about Kansas, you know. I didn't know shit. She said, within 1 minute we're gone in the feed zone, and I was like, I thought it was more like a 5-minute thing, you know, like. So they are more into the things I do already instead of. So I feel more supported, and like I said, it was like a dream bike always already for me, you know. And I was never on the bikes, but I'm so happy that I have a few. Like I have an.
We were just talking previously with some of the journalists about the UCI wanting to come in and have gravel, and it's like no. The UCI gravel doesn't need the UCI. The UCI needs gravel.
Yeah.
Because it's like. World Champs is dirty Kansas.
Yeah,
it's like, why do you need another World Champs beyond that?
It's the same as we have like a skate race in Holland, the Elfstedentocht.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know it.
It's only cold when it's
really. It's only when it's frozen, but then the whole country is like crazy, you know, for that. And I think Kansas is the same, but it can happen every year. Also, for example, Kansas, they don't pay start money, stuff like that, because same with the Elfstedentocht, everybody wants to be there, and I think that's the beauty of Kansas. But what I am a little bit afraid of is that if you win something like Kansas, it can change your life, you know, and then money is involved, and then maybe.
So you're gonna hold back from winning that, yeah? You're gonna be like,
for me, no. But when you're a young kid and you win Kansas, it changes your life, so that you can be a pro as a cyclist, you know. And I'm not sure if that's a good thing, you know, but I hope the spirit of gravel stays the same. And winning is not, you know, my best race I did back in 2016, because I was already on gravel a few years early. I was living in Santa Cruz.
Oh, right.
And the USA Cycling say it's not possible for me to do the crits as a World Tour pro.
Really?
So that's why I started to do gravel racing. So I was doing them already 4 or 5 years ago.
So this is when you were living in the States?
Yeah.
I never knew that. What made you go over there then?
I always had the dream of when I was young, like to have kids late and then to travel with the kids before they had to go to school. And then because cycling, it got me, and then I got better and better and got ninth in the Tour. So, and then I had a bad year and I broke my back and stuff like that. And I was like, oh fuck, where did I dream of 12 years ago? Riding the Tour de France maybe, but also traveling, you know. I was not dreaming of being top 10. I was not dreaming of making big money. I was not dreaming of all that. So then I said to my wife, he still can go to the US, you know. And so basically I found my manager. I told him, stop all negotiation in Europe. I go to the US, I ride for a domestic team. And then he said, whoa, not so fast. What if you live in the US and race still the Tour de France, a small program in Europe? I said, okay, but I don't think it's possible to pull it off with a team. But he did. He found someone.
Wow.
And I only raced Paris-Nice, Catalonia and Swiss and the Tour in Europe, and the rest I race in the US. So only California and the Canadian races, the 2 races.
Yeah.
And I did shitload of gravel. So I did Granduro, I did Grasshoppers, I did Leadville.
And that's where the love came from.
Yeah, that's where it came from. That's where it started. Yeah. So basically,
but the other question is, did you get to travel with your children, and did you live that dream as well?
Oh man, I got stories. You know, before the Tuesday after the Tour de France, we fly back home to Santa Cruz. So it was a 13-hour flight.
Yeah.
I drive the car from San Francisco Airport to Santa Cruz. We sleep, jet lag. Wednesday was 600 miles, and the day after was 700 miles to Leadville in a car, 2 jet lag trips. 1 year, so I arrived Thursday night in Leadville, like altitude. Friday a 1-hour spin, 3 days no bike, and Saturday I do Leadville. So I did all that already. You know, it's not that I go for it now. I know the drill.
Yeah.
But I remember that's how I came to this story. I did a taint hammer, but I had only my road bike back then. So I rode my road bike, and then was pretty good on the gravel. But then there were some muddy sections. And I had not enough clearance, so I was like, you know, like stuck because of the clearance. And then the guy, the race organizer, he jumps off his pickup truck, pulls off his shirt, and he starts to clean my bike with his. No kidding. And he says to me, "I pull you back behind the car and wait after the section." So behind the pickup, I go back into the front group of 25 people. Everybody's laughing, you know. That was, but they were not angry with me that I was pulled back by the organizer. They were just, Alpha, it's good that you have. We stopped all 25 to soak my bike in the canal.
No way.
All 25 we stopped. And then we did another few sections, and then there was another muddy part. Same happens. Yeah. And then the organizer says to me like, "Oh, Lawrence, I wait for you again at the end of the section." But the section turns out to be 20k long, so I was like, fuck. At the end of the section, no organizer. So I was like, okay, I fucked. So I started to go solo, and there was 5 guys in front. And I was like, okay, this was it for today, you know, like, okay. Then after a few kilometers, I look back, 5 guys coming. I'm like, hey, that might be the front group. And they went the wrong direction, so they caught me again laughing. And then my chain was like, so we stopped all. One had chain loop with him because I was a newbie. I didn't know it. So we did my chain. We stopped all 5. We stopped at the last rest stop all together. And then the organizer is a fan of whiskey, bourbon. So there was a big bourbon.
Yeah.
So we all take a shot, and then we raced the last 10 miles, and I beat them. But that was for me like, and then there was no money on the finish line, nothing, just tacos and beers, you know. But I had me and my friend Scotty D from Santa Cruz, we had a tailgate barbecue. We took a barbecue in the back of our pickup, and that was gravel, you know. So I hope that spirit stays, because now I hope it doesn't get too important to win races. It's nice to win, but at the end it's
nice to have fun.
Yeah,
I can quite understand why you kind of went, right, I've had enough of the pro scene. Yeah. I've had living out of hotels, seeing the family.
Still, I like that too. I did it for 16 years, but at the end I'm almost 40. They all go faster. It's all power meter shit, you know. That's not like it. When I started to be pro, it was more like the gravel actually. Nobody was having a logbook. Nobody was controlling you. When you want to go on a terrace for 3 hours, you did. You know, when you want to go for an 8-hour ride because you felt like it, you did. Nobody was saying, "What are you doing?" And now it's more strict, you know. I'm more from the old
school days. Yeah. Wow, because you would have come through Robert Bank at the same time as Matt Heyman. He would have been on Oscar Freire.
Yeah, Freire, Fletcher, Menchoff.
All of them.
Aurelio, yeah, all those guys, but also Thomas Dekker was there, or Geesink was there.
Yeah,
already,
yeah.
Bauke Mollema, you know.
You've seen them all come through. Because you would have been the elder statesman on the team.
Yeah,
They're dishing out not dishing out, I bet people were coming to you for advice though, the younger guys. But were you happy to give advice?
Yeah, sure, yeah. With the young guys still, you know, like today I was on the phone with Sam Omen. And I have really good contact with Dumoulin still, you know, Sinkeldam and Terpstra. He's not a young guy, but still.
So you
like
still keep in contact?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Still get out. Are they jealous of you at all?
No, not yet. But I see I have fun, you know. And
can you see, like in the future, a lot of riders sort of cutting short their careers to jump to the gravel scene?
I'm curious. I don't know. Like what I hope is that maybe, but what I hope is the gravel scene is. What I don't understand is like a lot of guys, like for example Ted King, but also Steady now. They stopped with the World Tour. It's too serious. Yeah. But they still ride with a power meter.
Yeah.
And I'm
fair
like,
enough.
okay, like why? You know, like.
But they're a different age group. They've come up through the power meter generation.
Yeah, and the first thing I did was like ditch it, you know, and just ride my bike. And
because I just remember one of the best stories I've ever heard is Oscar Freire, when the team used to send him a power meter every year, and he'd just post it straight back.
Yeah,
I'm just like, that's awesome.
That guy was great, man. You know, we used to train in like 3-day blocks, and also the third day he was injured.
Yeah.
So then he was no riding, and then the fourth day was our rest day. He did only 1 hour, you know. So basically, he did only 2-day blocks.
No way.
And then he still won the first race in Mallorca, you know. So.
I used to have a poster of him on my wall when he was at Vitalicio. When he won the world.
And Heyman was really serious always. No, but I like to explore, you know. That's why also I started biking because of that, you know, because I was a small kid, and it made my world a lot bigger, because I could go somewhere my friends couldn't go to because I had a bike, you know, like a real race bike. I did 40k loop when I was, I don't know, 12, 13 years old in my home without a phone, you know, and so it made my world bigger. And that's still the thing for me, it's exploring, and that's why I like to go to Kansas. Why would I go to Kansas without having dirty Kansas? You have to have a goal, you know, so that's why I went to the US. That's why I became, I have such good feelings for Santa Cruz in the US because of the bike, so it made my world a lot.
The cycling over there is fantastic. I used to live in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Man, the riding in the Bay Area is crazy.
So Santa Cruz, like, it's also bike up, and also the people there, you know. We had a Tuesday night ride, and then afterwards we would have a barbecue with friends. I try to bring that also to my friends in Holland. It's great, you know. But the bike just made my world bigger. That's why I'm here now on this terrace, and that's what I love about the bike, and that's what I also want to teach my kids, you know, like give them a bike and then just explore the world, you know.
Gives you confidence as well, like having a bike and getting out and about, meeting people.
Yeah.
Realizing you can go further.
Yeah, this year I did already so many adventures, you know. I did the Flanders Alternative, so I made a route in between Oudenaarde and Wevergem, from Ghent-Wevergem, and also back from Wevergem to Oudenaarde, 2-day trip, you know, but all the sides of the climbs, you know, on a gravel bike. And then we did it with bike, you know, with bikepacking style. So we slept somewhere on top of the bar we were drinking beers, and we were supposed to sleep outside, but they let us sleep in the room where all the beers were waiting to go down, and stuff like that, you know. And that's an adventure. So that's and then I can, because I'm also chief editor of Bicycling, the Dutch magazine, the Bicycling NL, so I write stories about it. I can do a podcast, we can do a movie.
It's world's your oyster.
Yeah.
Do you think now's a good time for professionals, pro bike riders? Because years ago, not that long ago, riders would finish their career and get fat. You know what I mean? They might go out on the bike.
Yeah, I'm happy I'm not like that. I'm happy I'm also retiring, not like frustrated. It's been good.
Yeah.
And that's been, but I still love to ride the bike.
Yeah.
And people sometimes are, why are you still riding the bike? I'm like, yeah, the best thing is, of course I did a lot of emailing lately, you know, to get the partnership with Specialized and other partners. And then you have to visit all the head offices. But this is where it's about. This is why I wanted it, you know. This is the next week when we go to Flanders and we do next week we do a podcast with Carl van Nieuwkerk, but we go totally Frank van den Broeke style, because that's one of my heroes from the past. And we pass his grave, but we do also the roads he trained, you know, and that's why I took this whole project to a next level.
So he was your hero, Frank van den Broeke,
yeah. So
he would have been roughly the same, eh? No, he would have been a little bit older.
I've been teammates with him. I've been rooming with him.
What team would have that been on?
Unibet, the first year.
Right.
Yeah. He was for a few months. But that's what it's about. And then the week after we go to Flanders.
Have you got any good stories about when you were...
too many. Yeah. But he was a real genuine nice guy.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
He invited me every day. He said, Lawrence, I got a nice place in Italy now, because he moved from Belgium to Italy near Bercy. You can come whenever you want. But once he took one of those sleeping pills, he totally changed, you know. So I never went into the invitation, because I knew like I can go there, but in the night he's like and then he could be gnarly, you know. But at the end he was really just a genuine nice guy with the heart was on the right place, I think.
Oh yeah.
But also the press made him like and also we put him so much on a
pedestal. Yeah. I just remember I was an amateur living in Ghent, and I remember him on the canal one morning. Saw this moped come towards me, and he was on the back.
Oh.
And I was like, he's got to turn around at the bottom of it. It's like 5k that way, so I'll jump on the back of him. So he come past us on the way back, and I was like, I'm going to jump on. I think I lasted all of about 4k before.
But he was not
unbelievable.
A dick. Like a real dick would be like.
Yeah. No, he was happy to have me there. Like he knew I wasn't going to last.
No. So. Yeah, the Flanders alternative trip I did, it's on Komoot.
All right, so check that out.
It's a collection, but it passes his. I made it pass his the Grand Café de la Place, where he's born.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's big papers on the wall. And
did you have any other idols then?
Gert-Jan Teunissen was my idol when I was really young. You know, the Dutch guy. Basically, he was in a polka dot jersey and he crashed, and there was blood everywhere. And
hey. Similar to you then.
At the end,
if people don't remember, there's what year was that? You with Rabobank?
2011, I think.
Incredible. I'll flash it up. Incredible picture.
Yeah, I saw the picture this week because somebody here took a picture of me in the downhill of Portelair. You know, the picture is incredible. But when I look back then, I was also I was really like. I had a goal and I had to be there. You know, and the last years of my career I was more. A little bit more like a little bit more thinking maybe, you know. And back then it was just I go. That was also my strength, but sometimes you have pictures like that then because of that.
That's one of the epic photos of cycling, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm happy that afterwards I still did a top 10 in the Tour, so that people in Holland they don't remember me just because of that picture, but also because of.
You got was it 8th at the Vuelta?
Also, yeah, and also we had the tour with Bouw en Lau, you know, 2013, where it was famous in Holland. So now I'm happy with the career; it's been good, and now I'm going into a gravel career. But I have so many balls like this, you know. It's not that I'm just totally like training load is half. You know, I have my podcast, I have the bicycling and I have 2 events. One is postponed.
Understandably,
what else? I have my coffee. We do a cycling.
You got coffee?
Yeah, I have my own coffee brand. I have my own clothing brand. We start up. And then I forget something probably.
Blooming at you, entrepreneur.
And then I need to still race bikes, you know. So and I'm a father, so it's like juggling. But I got a team, you know. It's 4 or 5 guys. We do all together. And
sleep 4 hours a night.
Yeah,
any true entrepreneur.
Sometimes. But last night I had 10. So
really, you've not got your kids around, have you?
Yeah. No, but it's true. But I think it's possible, you know. And so the last months were really busy. I think now it settles down, and now I have to focus on training for Kenza, and then after Kenza we'll see, you know. Then I train for Leadville, but it's with the kids. It'll be okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Right, I will let's get get ready for a few drinks, I think.
Yeah, no worries. We go down and have an aperitif. I had some already at lunch, I must admit.
Awesome. No, thank you ever so much for your time. That's awesome.